Hey everybody, today Rahdo Rambles through 250 bucks. Which I know is maybe a weird topic, but here's the story. If you listen to my most recent podcast that we put up a few days ago, one of the questions that came in was from Adam. Let's see, I went and found it out of my trash can. Adam asked, if you and Jen had $250 to restart a collection from scratch, what games would you get? What would you prioritize? You can use Amazon as your pricing deadline. And again, if you listen to the podcast, you know, sorry, Adam, I didn't answer. I just kind of pushed it off because I thought, wow, that's such a great topic. I really am intrigued by that notion. Because I'll admit, I mean, in my situation and doing Rahdo Runs Through, I'm really kind of out of touch when it comes to the price of games because 90% of the games I get are, sent to me by reviewers. So, I mean, that's why I never really talk about the cost of games very much in my videos because my perspective is 100% skewed. Never mind the fact that I can't determine for you what is a reasonable value because I don't know how much money you make. I don't know how much disposable income you have. So I just always kind of avoid it in part because I generally don't have to pay. I pay with my blood, sweat, and tears. Although you guys pay me for that too. But anyway, I thought that sounded like a really cool idea, and so I figured I'd make it into this month's ramble. And right about now, I should be putting a little window right there on screen if the recording worked. And on that window, you will see a list. Hooray! Although I couldn't help myself. I have a list of, 5 games, which isn't very much for 250. But I don't stop there. Then I've got a second list, a third list, a fourth list, and a fifth list. Because the longer I did this, I mean, it's like, well, but what about X? And what about Y? And what about Z? So the other day, I spent several hours doing this, just, searching through. Every one of these prices is, as of a few days ago, on Amazon. They're all Prime. Because often I could get them cheaper if I just, use some Amazon dealer that was part of their marketplace, but I just stuck with the Prime one so that I wouldn't have to pay shipping. Adam didn't specify that, but that made sense to me. And I'm ignoring sales tax, state sales tax. I'm just assuming I live in Oregon or Florida or one of the other states that doesn't have sales tax, so it could just be the base price. And I'm going to tell you, let's see. So this is kind of broken down priority. This group here is the number one, but like I said, it's only 5 games. But I have to put it at, if you gave me 250 bucks, these would be the games I would pick up that day on Amazon. Gloomhaven, Kashgar, Pulsar 2849, Queen's Architect, and Codenames. And it's mostly because of Gloomhaven. I mean, look at that. $139.99. Man, that totally wipes out my budget. But any one of these must-have game lists from now on has to include Gloomhaven. I mean, Isaac is just so amazing. He keeps putting out content for free. He keeps designing new adventures and, doing all these. It's amazing. It's a bottomless well of gaming goodness. And so, yeah, if I could only have one game, provided I'm given $140, that's going to be the game I get. Although, I have to admit, I mean, it does bug me. Only 5 games. This second grouping, which has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. This was originally the grouping I was going to go for. Because as I was doing my initial ones and trying to call stuff out, I started with Amerigo, Santa Maria, Roll for the Galaxy, Between Two Castles, Mad King Ludwig, Castles of Burgundy, Sanssouci, and Peloponnese, the card game. Because 7 is better than 5. And then as I was doing that and I put stuff out, I saw, oh, okay, I can't put Gloomhaven, I'll put it over there. And then over time, I just started building these additional groups because I didn't know how much money Adam was really going to give me in this thought experiment. And I sat with it for a while. I was really happy with this as a grouping because, hey, it's a lot of games. But ultimately, Gloomhaven trumps all. Interestingly about this first group as well, 18 bucks. For Queen's Architect. I don't know if Queen's Architect, I like it a lot. I like it more than Jen, actually. I don't know if it would have made this kind of start of a budget thing, but this is so cheap. I mean, the price is so low, I couldn't say no. And Codenames is there because, hey, if I got a collection of games, I mean, these are pretty heavy Euro-y style things. I got to have at least one game that's on the lighter side that I can play with muggles and whatnot. Every one of these groupings has one game like that, and Codenames was the one that fit. So that's my group, but if we talk a bit more about this second grouping, like I said, this was the one I was going for. Amerigo at $50 or $51. That was pretty high. Again, I don't know if I would have put it there because again, I could get 2 smaller games for that $50, but Jen loves Amerigo so much. I I don't know if it's her favorite game of all time. It'd be hard to pin her down, but it would be up there. And you notice Roll for the Galaxy is there too. Amerigo and Roll for the Galaxy are there because Jen would never forgive me in a million years. And like I said, remember, this was my original take until I realized Gloomhaven has to make it. All right. Oh, and then also on this list, Castles of Burgundy and Santa Maria, those are there for me. Man, those are two of the best Euro games of all time. Absolutely amazing. And I'm assuming I don't get expansions here, I should say. That I just have this flat money, that's why I have to spend. That's why in none of these lists, oh, actually, that's not true. I did ultimately put Agricola in a later, lower priority list because I wasn't setting aside funds for expansions. So that's why, some games that would have been really important don't make it. They're on one of the lower ones. Oh my gosh. I gotta get up. I am choking here. I'll be right back. Folks, I think I'm sick. It's Thanksgiving morning, in case you couldn't tell. I'm assuming I'll put this online today as a happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving for those who follow such things. I woke up this morning with such swollen glands in my throat. I had planned today to film Pandora. You can see I was getting ready to film and I'm like, So I figured I'd do this because it'd be quicker and easier. But now I'm just rambling on, so I gotta get under control. But yeah, a really sore, swollen throat. By the way, look at this little thing. Jen got this for me not too long ago. She bought it on eBay as a special surprise gift. For the longest time, for most of my adult life, until my mid or late 30s, I had a Disney World Walt Disney plastic drinking cup that I had gotten as a small child. One of the times my parents took me and my brother to Disneyland. And it was the only artifact from my childhood. But it was so old, it was all cracked, you really could hardly see any of the artwork on here at all. It just faded away from decades and decades of use. And it was kind of gross and scrungy. And Jen threw it away one time, like, that's literally all I have from my childhood, just that one cup. And she was so thoughtful. Years later, she surprised me. We get back to America, she goes and does a sneaky search on eBay, finds somebody selling these things, and that's love. All right, anyway, sorry. Back to the ramble. So, yeah. Castles of Burgundy, that could not be there. And actually, man, people always complain about the poor component quality in Castles of Burgundy. Having done this thought exercise, seeing how much games cost, I knew it intellectually, but since I've been kind of out of touch, I now kind of feel it more spiritually. Hey, it reinvigorates my determination. What Rahdo Runs Through has always been about is letting you guys learn what the game feels like to play so you can decide whether to buy because they're so crazy expensive. But Burgundy is not expensive, because the components are such cheap quality, and I think the publisher is making the right choice there because everybody should have Castles of Burgundy. Like I said, this was my original grouping. Oh, Sanssouci? $25. That game should be twice the cost. That's a steal on Amazon right now. And Peloponnese, the card game, at $23. I was really surprised by that. My first thought, I went to look for Peloponnese, and that commands very high prices. But then when I searched for the card game, oh, that's readily available. Boom, it goes on the list. Between Two Castles and Mad King Ludwig is the absolute newest game on this list, I think. Well, maybe there's a little bit further down. You can already see this whole list. What am I talking about? But man, it's so good. And, at $36, it seemed like kind of a no-brainer. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit of thing that went into the second grouping. Which, I don't know, maybe it should be the first grouping if it wasn't for Gloomhaven. But now, let's go on to the third grouping, because I just kept going and going. $70 for Trajan. Oh! Again, I've already got my Burgundy. $70 for Trajan. Jeez Louise. And that's, if I recall correctly, the new reprint that recently came out. Or maybe not. Maybe, I forget now. Like I said, I did this a few days ago. But I think that's the new reprint. And jeez. Don't get me wrong. It's worth it. If you have now given me $250 a third time, so I'm up to $750. Although actually, if you'll notice up here, I cheated. This group goes 94 cents over the limit, but I figured Adam would forgive me. But anyway, Trajan at $70. Ouch! But you know what? It is $70 good. That game has near infinite replayability. So, in terms of cost-benefit analysis, it makes sense. And Zolkin, that's another one for Jen because she loves it so much. I love it a lot too, but man, Jen adores it to pieces. Fields of Green, I was going to put Seven Wonders on because, it's in my top 10 of all time because I love it. Even though I've played Seven Wonders God, I can't even imagine, probably over 100 times now, because of all the times we played it at work back when I was still working in London. But I have played it so much, and so I ultimately, when I saw that Fields of Green could be had for under 40, I went for it instead. It's newer, it's fresher, and I don't know, I need to play it some more. It might actually be better. Or at least to Jen's and my taste. I mean, that tension of can you get all the water to all your fields is so good. I mean, and then, okay, Subdivision. I went and looked for Suburbia, but Subdivision was, I mean, I have to adjust my rank.rahdo.com. I think I still have Subdivision below. Subdivision is the superior game to Suburbia as far as I'm concerned. And it'd be nice to have, what do you call it? Can't think of the word. SimCity-ish style game. And then Kingdom Builder at $36. Yeah, there is so much gameplay in that base box. And Jaipur at 22. So this group actually makes up for the last one where I didn't really have... Oh, I mean, Sansuchi's pretty approachable. That's still fairly Euro-y. Jaipur... I think Jaipur is the only two-player only game I have on this list, as I recall. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I was trying to stay away. I thought about Bonanza the Duel... But I was, like I said, or Patchwork. I looked at those, but I figured, no. If I'm really this limited, I should stay away from two-player only stuff. But when I saw Jaipur at 22, it snuck in somehow. It's so good. Those camels, you gotta love them. Alrighty, let's talk about this next grouping here. If you give me another 250, I very much appreciate it. $65 for La Granja. Oh man, there is so much game in that box. Again, it's crazy high, but this is a game that is worth it. Totally. Those multi-use cards, the dice drafting. I mean, this is one of the ultimate Euro kitchen sink style games. It pulls it off so beautifully. It made it on the list. Didn't make it on the first few, but it made it on list number 4. And then Shadowrun Crossfire. Oh man, I looked up regular Shadowrun, which is my preferred Shadowrun Crossfire, and it was like over $100 for the original. But the Prime Edition at $65, it's there. Man, that seems so high for basically a box full of cards and some cardboard chits. That's so high. But Shadowrun Crossfire is amazing. Again, this is another game I've played well over 50 times, and as I understand it, even though I was worried. I mean, I haven't looked at it yet. I mean, actually, I do have a copy of it right here. I mean, I am meaning to get this open and do a rundown on what's new and different in there. I haven't gotten to it yet, but from what I've read online, you can get while they did make changes, you can stick to the original. I think they did actually tweak a few cards to make them easier. It's like, no, Shadowrun didn't need that. But still, this is this can be, depending on which characters you choose, 95% the original Shadowrun, and it's so good. Yeah, arguably, it could push in and knock out Gloomhaven from that original. But, at some point, I had to stop tweaking these things and moving them around. You can see how I've set this up. That I've just got these columns, and I can just basically over here say, oh, no, that's not part of this group anymore. It's part of this group. Whee! And, and all of that. But, I'm sorry, I'd have to, I did that wrong. I could say it's part of this group. And then, rambling, and then all my numbers get messed up, but I'll leave it alone. So, that was another thing with this exercise as well. After I had all these games, and I had them kind of broken down, I was like, again, I had to prioritize these lists, and I switched the top 2, I switched some other ones, but then I would switch games in and between them and all of that. So anyway, this is where it fell. Manhattan Project, amazing at $50. I mean, I want all of these games. So, Adam, please change your original question to, if you had $1,250, what games would you choose to start? This would be an amazing collection. What is it? It's 31 games at $1,248. Hey, all right, yeah, games are expensive. Anyway, though, and then Escape Zombie City. I went looking for Escape, because that's our preferred one. The price on that is crazy through the roof, but you can get Escape Zombie City, which, to my money, is actually the better game. Jen prefers Escape, but she liked Escape Zombie City. And, so I really did want a real-time cooperative game, and I love Escape so much. It was too expensive, but Zombie City at $27, total no-brainer. And this, Notre Dame, this is the 10th anniversary edition that came out, was it last year? Another amazing game. So this is what, my second card drafting game, and was this my third Feld, I believe, on this list, but at $25, come on. It's one of Feld's best as far as Jen and I are concerned. And then here's another one of those light, you can play with anybody things. I went looking for Avenue. because that's still the one I got. I never got. They never sent me a final copy after I did the prototype video, which is so often the case. You know, people don't realize. They think, Rahdo's such a corrupt guy. He just gets free games left, right, and center. I do get a lot of free games, but I mean, heck, probably 30% of all the run-throughs I do are for games that I'll never get anything for. You know, they don't pay me. Sorry, you guys all know this, because you can't watch this unless you're a Rahdo Rambler backer. So I'm sorry. I'm fighting with imaginary internet trolls now on Reddit. So anyway, Kokoro Avenue of Kodamas, that was on there because that's the reprint. And it is so much prettier, and they added the extra stuff. I'm just so fond of Avenue. I feel bad about switching, but I mean, this one is a prettier. It's better all around, and it was available, whereas Avenue is not, because this was the replacement. And at 20 bucks, again, another no-brainer. And now the last grouping, I got back up into a bigger, what is this, 1, 2, 3, I got another group of 7. So really, this should be my number one. And man, I mean, I put Agricola in here, and you know, and Agricola, like I said, doesn't make it into the higher ones because Jen and I have played Agricola so much, and because we are not going to be. Oh my gosh, what is up with the volume? Have you gone dead? Oh no, my microphone has gone dead. Oh, shoot. Yeah, totally dead. Yay. But okay, fingers crossed. Because I am recording the screen right now. Let's see here. And, yeah, I didn't even think about turning out. Okay. Apologies, folks, if the audio is bad. The battery went dead. Do not use recharge. Jen is such a... She just demands I use these rechargeable batteries. They're just a... We don't have kids. We don't have to go... We can be wasteful on batteries. Okay, anyway. So, please be recording little mic on top. Although the sound won't be... Yeah, anyway, sorry. Fingers crossed this comes out okay. Yay! Thanksgiving ramble. No, I'm not thankful for rechargeable batteries. So anyway, I couldn't get the expansion, so Agricola gets knocked down. But it still makes it, even with the base game. Although, actually, as I understand, this is the revised edition. And they took a lot of cards out of the revised edition, too. So, again, that's why it doesn't come up higher. Dungeon Pets, Jen, I think, would be very disappointed with me to find out how low that went. But, you know, I mean, to me, I've played that game so many times with so many people that I just had to put stuff that was newer to me, like Pulsar or Kashgar or something like that, higher than it. But, you know, at 42 bucks, that's pretty reasonable. Networks, you know, this one, it could go higher, but again, there's so many cool expansions for it now, I'd feel bad not having them. Otis, at 29, that was a no-brainer. That's a crazy low price compared to how good a game it is. Forbidden Desert, this is in my top 20, at 24 bucks, another great cooperative. And then finally, another light, little, simple game, Castles of Burgundy, the dice game, at $14. Come on, folks. That was my last grouping at $249.58. And that's it, folks. That is the ramble. Apologies. Fingers crossed I have some actual audio, and it's not recording off my laptop that's in the closet back there, but actually recording audio with this. I'm worried. We'll find out. And once again, folks, happy Thanksgiving. And actually, my throat's kind of warmed up now. Maybe I will go on ahead and start playing this, because Jen's up in the studio making glass for folks. Or maybe I'll just go read. I mean, I've got so many things that need to get played. Oh my gosh. But anyway, again, there's another ramble. See you in another month. Thanks, as always. I am, on this Thanksgiving Day, so thankful to you to allow me to continue to do this rather than go back to a regular, awful 9-to-5 job. I so love my life, and I love all of you for making it possible. Thanks again. Talk to you later, everybody. So long. Bye-bye.